All right, so we have our adventuring party for 5 Leagues from the Borderlands. We have Graven, who is a human mystic. He has agility 1, speed 4-3, combat 0, toughness 3, luck 1, will 1, and because he ended up with 4 XP from creation, casting 2. He has speech 1, expertise 1 with partial armor and a staff. The spells that we have are Premonition, Bind, Shadows, Heal, and Steel Break. Second in line we have Rosalind, who is a human with the background of Frontier. We have Agility 1, Speed 4-3, Combat 0, Toughness 4, Luck 1. For skills, she ended up with Speech +1 with a Light Armor, Shield, and Bastard Sword. Third in line here we have Vindra. Oh, I'm sorry. That would be this one. My apologies. This is the only preen-like miniature I have, is this Aasimar here. So we're going to count that as our preen. Agility 1, Speed 5-5, Combat 1, Toughness 3, Luck 2. Skills he has is crafting crafting with partial armor and a longbow. Here we go. Fourth in line we have Leliana, who is Fey Blood. Agility 1, 5-4, Combat 1, Toughness 3. She has Wits +1 and Wilderness. She has light armor, a helmet, a standard sword, and a standard weapon of some other sort. I'm still working on that last one. Oh, her standard sword is fine also, by the way. Fifth in line, we have Whisper, the Quiet Forester. Agility 1, Speed 4-3, Combat 1, Toughness 3, with a standard weapon, self bow, light weapon, and light armor. Last in line, we have Bork. Bork is a militiaman. Agility 1, Speed 4-3, Combat 0, Toughness 3, and a standard weapon. Bork is very simple. And that's what we're starting with. For the combat, or for the campaign, the two opposing factions that I have chosen here are Whispers from the Beyond, which I'm using these guys here. So this is going to be our primary, and the secondary being the Faceless Kingdom, and I'm still working on their miniatures. The initial board that we have set up here, this is for the first scenario of the campaign, where they're just coming into the region. And let me go ahead and just show you the region real quick. Show you the map that I've done up here. Alright, so this is the map that I've set up for my 5 Leagues campaign. This is the, as it is named, Vaelon Pass. So what I ended up rolling up is 2 hamlets and a town. And this is what we've got. So our entry area is going to be here, near Dravos's Watch. Right. Let's just move around here. All right, and then our first town is going to be the town of Cargos, which is settled in a group of hills here on the main road that goes through the valley. And I've added a couple of different things here. We have some ruins over on this side, all right, along with a graveyard. So this is a ruined town with a ruined keep. So I thought that would be kind of interesting. As you can see, we've got a ruined fort over on this side, right? And this is our first hamlet. This is Vaelon Village, and there is a chapel outside as well. There's a river that runs through the area, and we've got our main feature here, which is the Darkhold. And the Darkhold is the current and the town of the hamlet of Darkhold is home to the current lord of Vaelon pass. And the last huge feature we've got here is the bone wood. Now the bone wood I've used actually in my D&D campaigns. The bone wood was actually created by necromancy. So the bone wood is not an actual forest. The bone wood is it's more like a forest that has been kind of twisted by dark sorcery type of deal. And as you can see, I've added a couple of other miscellaneous things. I've got, you know, this gnarly looking tree, fallen statues, and dragon bones. You know, just a couple of things to kind of spice things up. We've got mountains on either side. You can see here, which nestles everything quite nicely into this little valley. So in our initial encounter, we are going to be in a graveyard that is just outside of Dravos's Watch. And that's where we're going to start session 1 for the campaign. So, to clarify what we've got here, what I rolled up first was an unknown location. It ended up being a delve, a ruin. So I'm going with an old graveyard that is currently under the influence or occupied by the Whispers from Beyond. So this is going to be an undead location here. So this is our first delve, and I'm going to go ahead and set this up, and we'll start making rolls, and we'll go from here. Here we've got our objective markers as required by the scenario. Each one is marked with a Roman numeral. So we've got 1, 2, all the way to number 6 here. So these are going to be our objective markers for the scenario. So I'm fielding 6 characters, so I have 6 markers. I now have all objective markers set, as you can see. We've spread them out, and none of them are, as the rules state, within 9 inches of one of the edges. So off we go. Okay, taking care of the first move. Let's see what happens. Looks like we got a 26. 26 is as silent as a grave. This is a tomb. Oh, how appropriate. And a guarded one at that. So I'll be placing 2 additional exploration markers at the center of the table and 3 additional skeletons within 1 inch of the markers. Okay. And it gives the stats for the skeletons, which is speed 4, combat skill +1, toughness, armor 1, undead. They begin the game unaware. All right, well that's a good thing. All right, so off we go. So we've got our 2 additional loot tokens and 3 additional skeletons in the center of the board here. So let's set the rest up. So I did forget to select a warband member and do a normal move for them. So that's what I'm going to do now. I think what I'll do is I will use Rosalind. I think that's what I'm going to do. And Rosalind's move is 4. All right. So we're going to use this little guy here. That is what we're going to do. All right, let's do our initiative roll. Oh, well, not so good. Looks like I've got at least one person going first. And I got to check my agility for the rest. Okay, so I did forget one thing. I am going to roll premonition. So basically when rolling for initiative, if I make this, 2 dice may be re-rolled. So this is +2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is not enough for that 7+. Okay, well, never mind on that. Of my current heroes, Vendra, who's the preen with the longbow, is the one I have chosen to go first. That's the only one that I rolled. The rest of them are going later in the initiative. Alright, so for enemies, besides the skeletons in the center there, I ended up rolling the Corrupt, which are the models here in the center, along with unfortunately for me, we have a charismatic hero, which is a leader type, and they're basically just hired muscle, nothing else, no special rules. And we ended up rolling a lieutenant as well. And this model here is going to end up being our lieutenant. And we have our corrupted here. And our charismatic leader here. Alright, so I ended up rolling a lot of enemies. There's a lot on here. So my objective is to explore at least 3 of these tokens. Right? And I've got 6 on the board. Honestly, considering where I put them, I think I'm going to have a hard time with this one. There are a lot of enemies to face. Okay, beginning of the round, oh, and why did I do that? I just moved my dice off of here. Alright, now the intention for here, now I have glued these doors shut, but the intention here is that the doors are open. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to have my preen take a shot with the longbow. Now, it is definitely within the 24 inches to target one of these skeletons. So we're not going to have him move. We're just going to have him go ahead and do a ranged attack. You can see that if we take the range from the preen, who's here, and look at the skeletons here, we do have these skeletons are within range but not within 6, so this is going to be a 5+, and we're actually going to target, let's see, we'll target this skeleton right here in front. So that's what we're going to do. Here we go. That is a 4, so that's not going to do anything. So we're in a delve. All of our enemies start off as unaware. So we've got 4 groups here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick one of these groups one at a time, starting with the skeletons out in front here, and I'm going to get them to patrol to a random objective. So I have 6 objectives, plus the 2 that are in the center there that came the extra with the delve. So I'm going to just roll a 1 through 6 and have them randomly move to one of the objectives here on the board. For our skeletons, here we go. They're going to go after objective 1. Brilliant! Objective 1 is this guy over here. So per the book, they have a speed of 4. So as a group, they're going to move the easiest way toward that objective. Okay, so that is group number 1. Next group is going to be this group here, and they're going to go after objective 4. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. The easiest way for the corrupted to do this is going to be to move back here behind this. Okay, so group 2, we're going to go after objective 3. So that's right where they're at. So we'll just kind of reposition them here. Objective 3, this one, objective 1. Okay. Whew. Uh-oh. I just moved my trees around. Alright. So they're going after objective 1. I'm going to have them move around this tree here. So I'm going to have them move through here. Alright. So that is all of the unaware enemy movement. We have our obligatory moving around the board phase for my guys here. And Whisper is actually going to take a shot at this skeleton right here. Now once again, this is going to be a 5+. Let's retrieve our dice here. So this is going to be a 5+. Actually, let me make sure that because she has a self bow. So 8, yep. Okay, so yeah, it's going to be a 5+ to hit this guy. Nothing. Alright, so nothing happens. So that's end of round 1. Alright, let's throw some initiative out. Okay, alright, still only have one person going first. That's fine. Once again, I have given my first initiative to the guy with the longbow. And the guy with the longbow is not going to move and does have line of sight to the skeleton again. So we're just try this again. So we need a 5+ to hit him. 1 is always a miss. Wonderful. I believe actually that is also the limited ammunition rules come up. Alright, so limited ammunition, yep. My guy with the longbow can no longer shoot. Yay. Alright, so let's do some random movement for the unaware enemies. Which objective are the skeletons heading for? Objective 3, that would be... Whoop. Okay, this tree keeps getting moved here. So objective 3, so we're going to move 4 towards objective 3. It's right about here. Okay, so we'll go with the guys here. This is going to be the lieutenant. Objective 6. Okay, so that's going to be all the way over there. So this middle of the board here is getting kind of crowded. Okay, we'll go with these guys. They are headed for objective 2, which is going to be the shield here. So they end up over this way. Alright, and last group was going to be these guys here. They're headed for objective 6 as well. So that's going to be over here. So okay, so that is all of the unaware movement, and we will move to the heroes now. Now, her range is 18, so it's going to be 2 of these big guys, and I'm not sure. Yeah, you know what? He is already gone. Pretty much, it looks like fire at anybody on the board except for those guys in the back there. So, well, I'm going to have her stay put. So the only line of sight she has is that same skeleton we've been firing at. So here we go. Alright, finally a hit. Alright, so the skeletons in question, those guys over there, their armor is 1. So let's see if we can. We roll a 4, so we in the shot here. So we roll a 4 and we overcome the toughness, or the armor. So now we're going to overcome their toughness, and their toughness is a 4. We do overcome their toughness. Alright, so and since we rolled a 6, they actually become a casualty, so it automatically takes this skeleton out of battle. Alright, so technically, if I'm reading the awareness rules right, the only time they become aware is if they're within 8 inches in line of sight of the warband figures, within 2 inches of aware figures, or within 6 inches of melee, or within 2 inches of an exploration marker that's been explored. Now, it doesn't say anything about killing an enemy, so I'm going to look that up real quick and clarify. Okay, so per actually the guy who wrote the rules, as long as the attack didn't meet any of the conditions, the skeletons remain unaware, which is great because I'm pretty sure they would have at least activated another one of those groups. So that is these two having gone. I'm going to actually take Bork over here, and Bork is going to make a move and a dash. So he is going to move a total of 7. I'm going to have him head all the way through here. So this is 6 and then 7, and that will put him closer to this first objective. Now, is he within 8? Oh, he is not. That is good. He's not within 8 of these guys, so that's actually a good thing. Alright, so that is him. I'm going to have Vaelon and Rosalind both do anticipate. So we are going to put a die next to each of them that indicates they get to go first. Alright, so hopefully I'll be able to use that next turn. So that's Rosalind and Vaelon, and then Graven. What is Graven going to do? Graven has options. I'm going to try and cast Shadows. That goes off on a 6+, and I'm going to target old Bork over here. So 6+. That is a 6+. Alright, so that is his second spell cast. So he has 1 left, and I'm going to move Bork here. Now, since he's behind that tree, he's not within line of sight of anyone, which is a good thing. And that is turn 2. Okay, initiative roll for this round. Oh, okay. Well, I was hoping for at least one more 1, but we did not get that. Okay. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have Vaelon join Bork over here on this side of things, because hopefully I will be able to rush her in to get to objective 2, which is the shield way back there in the corner. And then I'm going to take Rosalind and I'm going to move her over here on the other side of this fence. So we're going to do her first. So she's going to move a total of 7. So I'm going to move her here. And then we're going to take Vaelon. Yeah, she moves 9. So move her 6. And then, well, if I move her 3, she's going to be, I'll just move her over here. That will put her behind the fence and out of line of sight. Okay, so those are all of my first turn, guys. So let's move some enemies. One thing I did miss is that the enemies will continue moving towards the objective in question until they get there. So what's going to happen here is these guys are going to move here. They were headed towards 3. These guys were headed towards 2. So they will move their 4. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, 4 will get them right to it. Now the thing is, Bork is out of line of sight, but he is within 8. So as long as he stays out of line of sight, he's good. Actually, no, he's actually not within 8. Well, that's good. So as long as he stays outside of 8 and not within line of sight, he should be okay. These two were both headed for this objective, so I'm going to go ahead and move them here. And these guys as well, they were headed for the same one. This objective is now crowded, which that's where Rosalind was supposed to be going. I cannot leave her over there by herself, though. I'm going to have to probably move at least Graven over there to back her up. And I think we're going to have to start throwing some more arrows out. Now, I don't know what I'm going to do with my preen either. Well, we'll get to that. Okay, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to leave my person with the self bow here right where she is at, and she's going to take a shot at the skeleton in the back. Now I have pre-measured, and she is definitely within range of those guys way in the back over there. All right, so on a 5+, nope, that is not. gonna do it. Okay. And I'll tell you what, I'm gonna move half her movement. Her movement is 4. So I'm gonna, actually no I am not, because you know what? These guys are getting pretty darn close. So I don't necessarily want Rosalind to get grouped up by 6 dudes. So I'll tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna move Graven over here and dash him to get him to this side of things. That way he is outside of line of sight as well. He's got that fence blocking him. I'm counting the fence as blocking line of sight, obviously, even though it is a wrought iron fence. Oof. I think I'm going to have Rosalind do Anticipate again, and I will have the Preen, since we're pretty much limited to a standard sword, I'm going to have the Preen move the full 10 to join Rosalind and Graven over here. Oops, let's not move the columns. And then, so yeah, right here. Alright, so we got everybody kind of grouped up in 2 different areas with my archer on one in the center there. Okay, so that's him. So now we have Bork and Leliana. Oh no, Leliana went first, so I have Bork. So Bork is now going to explore that token. Alright, exploration marker time. 83. Oh, lucky me. We have a guarded stash. Okay, you see something glinting in the dark. You have found valuables, but they are also well defended. Place a marker at the most distant point on the table the character can draw a line of sight to. Then place 3 enemy melee troopers within 2 inches of the marker as unaware sentries. A character moving into contact with the marker may claim 3 loot rolls. Oh boy. Okay, so line of sight to the first exit point, huh? Actually, did it say the first or the furthest? Most distant. Actually, he cannot draw a line of sight to... Alright, let's get back on the board. Okay, since we are talking about old Bork here, the furthest distance that he can draw a line of sight to is going to be way over here. And that is where we'll place a physical loot token. And we are going to place 3 enemy melee troopers within 2 inches of the marker as unaware sentries. Wow, okay. Now if I can grab that loot token, I will get 3 rolls on the loot table. But I have 3 more enemies on the table. I got a lot of enemies on the table this time around. Now I did make one mistake. Rosalind cannot do the Anticipate move because she just moved over here. So rolling initiative for everybody. Alright, not bad. I got 2 people going first. Alright, let's set that up. Alright, so I have given the first initiative to Bork and to Whisper, the Quiet Forester. Now, obviously, I'm going to have Whisper shoot because that's just kind of what she does. But for Bork, I'm actually going to try and move him, keep him out of line of sight over here. So let's go with that. So first off, we're going to have Whisper take another shot at one of the skeletons back here. So this is a 5+, and that's a 6. So that is a hit. All right, armor. Anything above a 1 is good. Toughness 4. Did not beat their toughness. Okay, well, so fair enough. Now for Bork. So Bork can move up to 7. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to march Bork over here behind this tree. And of course I made it too steep, so I'm just kind of there you go. Put him up there, so we got that. Alright, so those are my first. So now we move the enemies. So these guys have reached their objective. They all have. So we'll go with these guys first to have the charismatic later. Okay, so they're already at 2, so they're going to stay there. So the skeletons. Oh boy, skeletons are headed back towards objective 1. Here. Alright, now for this group, objective 3. Okay. I'm going to count them as having reached that objective because it's so crowded over there. Alright, so here, and then this group over here, they are going after objective 4, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So I'm going to have them move back this way behind the mausoleum. All right. The skeletons over here, our newest arrivals, where are they going to head towards? Whoa. They're going to head towards objective 2, which is way over here. So that takes them this way. Okay, so that is all of the enemies patrolling around. Alright, so Leliana, who is this elf here, she can move up to 10 if she dashes. So I am actually... She can just barely not make it to the crypt here, so I'm going to keep her behind this tree and keep her out of line of sight. And that will be her movement there. You can see her, she is right there behind that tree. So what is the Mysticum Ordinum going to do? I'm actually tempted to just anticipate on all 3 of them. And I think that's what I'm going to do. So for these 3, since they've been just kind of chilling here for Rosalind, Vindra, and Graven, I'm going to have Graven move 1 inch and Rosalind move 1 inch, well, less than 1 inch. And I'm actually going to have him move 1 inch as well. And, you know what? I'm going to have him move 1 inch, move this way. And then that will allow me to do and anticipate on all 3 of them, and they will all be able to go first next time around. So that's what we're going to do with them. Alright, initiative going out for the remaining 3. That is not bad. That is not bad at all. Alright, so this is one of those rare occurrences where I have 5 of my warband going first. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. First thing I'm going to do, we're going to get the shot out of the way. So we're going to take Whisper and we're going to try and shoot the skeleton again. Okay, that's a hit. So we need anything above a 1, good, and anything of a 4+. Wow! And she takes out another one. Sweet. Very good. Okay, so that's her. Alright, so now I have 4 more that are going first. These 3 over here are going first, and I'm actually kind of tempted. I'm kind of tempted to just charge in, take 2 exploration, and do 2 exploration objectives here, and then try and bug out. Even though I've got physical loot here in over on this side, and I'm gonna have to look this up for the delve here for the random occurrence. I believe that is objective tokens again. Look that up real quick. Okay, so those 2 markers in the center there are actually additional exploration markers. All right, here we're gonna do some biscuit risking here. You know, risk it for the old biscuit. And I'm actually gonna have Rosalind charge into combat and take a swing. Let's do this. All right, so I have had, you know, honestly, I want to play it smart and wait for the skeletons to patrol away. because everybody's leaving this side of the board, and I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play it smart. I'm actually going to do 1-inch moves all around for these guys. I'm going to have them anticipate again, and then I'm going to leave, let's see, and then that leaves Vaelon and Bork over here. Now Bork is going on a 6, so he goes last, but Vaelon goes now, and I think I'm going to have her move her full 10. Pardon my reach. Alright, I'm gonna have her move 5 behind here, and that will take her right to the edge, and then I think I should be able to... Ooh, no. I'm gonna move her here. Actually, you know what? Shoot. I could have her anticipate too. I'm just gonna move her here for now. Alright, so then that leaves the enemies. So we'll start with this lone skeleton. He was headed towards this objective. Oops, which he has now reached. Alright, these guys have reached their objective, and where are they headed now? They're on 2, so I guess they're staying put. These guys were headed for objective 3, and I believe they're perfectly able to reach objective 3 this round. And these guys were headed for objective 4. So right here. Stay upright. Here we go. And the skeletons were headed over here towards objective 1. Now that actually, I think that's going to put them in line of sight of the Quiet Forester here. Yeah, they're going to be able to see the preen too. Okay, well these guys have just become aware, which is a thing, but they're not within 3 of anyone else, and there's no melee combat going on right now, so I mean that is a thing. And then Bork. I think I'm going to have Bork. Actually, I'm going to have Bork move 7 back over to here. Because now, oops, I dropped my statue. Now we have these guys. They're gonna fly after him, and yeah, all right. So that's the end of that round, and we'll go on to the next. So we've got 3 auto ones, and no more than that. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We have some decisions to make here. Graven has 1 spell left to cast, and he has to choose from Premonition, Bind, Shadows, Heal, and Steel Break. So I could potentially, maybe, oh, and I forgot that I do also have some silver leaf or silver tree leaf, and that helps. I have 3 of those, and that helps in the post-game stuff. I forgot to mention that I do have, I'm sorry, I have 2 of those. So the question is, do I want to use my last spell? Do I want to use my last spell here? Let me ponder that off camera for a moment. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to have actually Rosalind go over here to this loot token. And since she's here, she can move her 4 right over to it. And then we'll have her take that. Now, let me check. Oh, I just have to move in contact with the marker. So we'll move 4 to move in contact, and then we'll move 3 to the exploration worker. So that means that she will have 3 loot rolls, which is cool. Now she is within line of sight, so that's going to activate the enemies, of course. But I still have ones to go. I'm going to bind the skeletons with Graven. I think I'm just going to go ahead and use that last spell. So bind, get over to it real quick. It goes off on an 8+ up to 3 enemies. So let's see if it even goes off. So we're gonna roll this real quick. It does. Okay. Okay. So I guess that's on their activation. So these 3 are going to be bound. So I'm going to put a die next to them showing that they are bound. Now that, so they can't move, but they can fight. So I'm going to move my preen in, and with a standard weapon, we're going to do our first melee attack. So here we go. We're going to use the white die as the heroes, and we're going to use the black die as the enemy. Yeah, okay, sure. That's anticlimactic. Okay, all right. Okay, so my attacker has retreated one inch because that ended in a draw. Oh, I forgot to move Graven over, so Graven would have been over here. So you can cast that spell. That actually takes care of Graven, and it takes care of all of my ones. So now we're going to roll for the enemies here. So we're going to roll a d6 for these guys. Bound, bound, and bound still. So they can't move. No one is within 6. No one was within line of sight of her. So pretty much that's the only thing happening. Okay, so now we move on to enemy movement. Okay, so we got these guys. Where are they headed? They're on objective 2 already. All right, second group apparently staying on objective 2. Awesome. These guys, oh, objective 6. That's right where Rosalind is. However, she's okay for now. They're not within 3 of those guys. All right, so I'm going to go for these guys. They are moving here. So they come in contact with this objective this round, which is where they were headed. And that is everybody that can move. So now we move on to Bork and Leliana and the Quiet Forester. Now the Quiet Forester still has this guy in line of sight, so she's going to take a shot. That is a hit, 5+ armor, anything above a 1, good. And then overcome toughness, that is also a hit. All right, so now we got this skeleton over here is injured, so I'm going to use one of these nifty tokens here to indicate that he's injured. And I believe that with enemies it might take them out on the first injury. I'm gonna have to check that. All right, let's do some initiative. Whoa, dropped one. Ooh, all right, well I have one person going first. Okay, well let's get to it. All right, so I have decided that Rosalind is going to go first. Or I'm sorry, not Rosalind. Actually, yeah, no, we're gonna let Rosalind go first. So we're pretty sure. Actually, I don't think she can get into combat, can she? No, she can, just barely. All right, so she is going to hop over there, and she is going to try and smack the skeleton. So to reiterate here, so actually, gotta figure out what she needs to roll here. Okay, so they're both combat skill 0. So we're gonna do 2d6s here. We're gonna use the white die for Rosalind, and we'll use the black one for the skeleton. So here we go. All right, so it looks like she wins that one. So how we move on is, okay, I'm going to try and resolve armor here. So anything above a 1. All right, a 6. Very good. And for the toughness, overcoming toughness here. Okay, that is a no. Fair enough. All right, so then that means we move on. Okay, so the target is stunned, so that is a thing. And then, so he would be pushed. The thing is, I gotta look up and see what happens if you cannot be pushed. Oh, they become stunned. All right, so another exchange is fought. Okay, so here we go. All right, the skeleton wins this one. And she gets pushed back 1, and let's see if the skeleton can break free. That was this die. So no, skeleton is still bound. All right, well, that's that. Now we move on to the enemies. All right, so I'm gonna roll the bind for these two. So this one here, still bound. This one here, still bound. All right, so they can't move. Fair enough. Now, I'm gonna measure out whether, since we're in melee combat, whether these guys here would hear it, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, okay, so aware, and these guys are outside of 3 inches, so they are not aware. These guys are not aware. So these two are, though. All right, so they're gonna head straight for our heroes. The closest is going to be Vandra. So we're gonna move 4 and then dash. Oh, actually, I gotta check and see their stats, see if they actually can even dash. All right, so these guys are the corrupt. They cannot dash. So what they're going to do, so yeah, so we don't gain combat bonuses against them for having multiples in combat with them. But, so they're at least going to move the 4 inches toward Vandra, which would put them here. Oops. And then, let's see, these guys also would be alerted, and they would move 4 to about here in this objective. So here's what we're gonna do. We'll roll for these guys, see which objective they're going for. Ooh. All right, that was a 2, which again, they're already on 2. Okay, so the skeletons, a 6. So, oh, wondrous. So they're gonna head, the skeleton's gonna head that way, which puts him within, nope, actually he is not within. Actually, where is he? It would be this guy. Nope, he's still not within yet. Okay. I'm pretty sure I remember that right. He's not within 3 of an alert member, and not within 6 of a melee combat. Actually, well, I guess this would, no, because they're both pushed back. He is within 6, though. You know what? He is within 6. I'm going to say that he probably sees that, so he would be aware. And these guys are outside, so they would not be aware. All right. Okay, so now we're going to move on to our heroes, our intrepid heroes here. Now, I still have Bork over here. Now I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to have Bork move his 4 over to that physical, or over to that exploration token here. Yoink. And I'm going to have him explore this token. So if I can get at least 3 exploration tokens here, I can successfully leave the battlefield. So that's what I'm going to go for, because I have a lot of enemies on me. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and explore this token here. All right, so we're rolling the battle site finds table. So we're going for 100, or percentile in this case, 55. Something hidden. Okay. There's markings here that suggest something has been buried or stashed away out of sight. A warband member taking an interact action may make an 8+ scouting test to search. A success locates a hidden stash, in which case make a loot roll. Okay, all right. Failure means they don't find anything. Double 1 means that there is, oh boy, double 1 is a trap. Okay. Each warband member can only attempt this once. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Let's make a skill test. So we need an 8+ scouting. Does Bork have scouting? I don't think he does. Nope, he has no skills. Bork is just a Bork. Well, that's not enough. It's just a failure. But that's okay. That's 1 more token explored, and we'll just leave that there in this, actually. Leave that there for now. Okay, so so far we have Bork has gone, Rosalind has gone. Here's what we're going to do. I'm actually going to take our preen friend here, and I'm going to have the preen move over to this token here. All right. So, and we're going to have, we're going to have him explore, and maybe even do a scout action if I can. I'm going to check and see what what it takes for that. So I can either explore the token, or I can try to get loot. I'm going to explore. I'm going to grab that other marker in the center there. 80 exactly. All right. Guarded stash. Oh my gosh. Super lucky. All right, so this is the same one that I got earlier. So the farthest line of sight that they can see is going to be, actually it's going to be over here, I would say. Let's stop right at this hill. So that's what we're, let me do some camera adjustment. So if we're going to go line of sight here from the preen, line of sight would stop here at this hill. Well, actually, no. It would go all the way over here. All right, so here's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. We're going to put another loot token on that side. So it's going to be all the way over here on this side of the map. But the thing is, it also gets 3 enemy melee troops. So we'll see how that goes. We're going to put a marker here, along with 3 enemy melee troops. Ooh, this map has become very, very populated here very quickly. So this is what we're going to do. I think at this point it is actually time for us to, it's time for us to leave. And since we've explored 3, we're just going to wrap this up. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to take Vaelon, she is actually all the way over here behind this mausoleum. Let's pan over to her real quick. If you can see, she is actually way there in the back, over there in the corner. So we're going to have her, well, pardon me as I reach across the camera. So she actually could just exit right now. There's also this marker over here, but the thing is, as soon as she gets over there, she's going to have somebody trying to smack at her. I'm going to make a decision here. I'm going to make that decision off camera. All right, so Graven, being the wise man that he is going to exercise the better part of valor. So everybody that can get off the board is going to get off the board. So we're going to start with Vaelon. So she is going to go off the board first. And then the rest of them are going to take their move and half move. It would probably be prudent for me to fire at someone as well. And since she has line of sight to those skeletons, I think I'm going to fire at this skeleton that's closest here, just to give Rosalind a path out. So let's see if I can hit. Okay, that's a 5. That hits. Armor. That's a 2. Goes over the armor. Okay, toughness. Anything over 4? That is a 5. All right. So that is skeleton over here wounded. All right, so that's that, and we're going to have Graven, who is here. Graven is going to, he's going to exit because he doesn't have any sort of ranged weaponry. So we're going to have him move his 7. So here's that, 4, 5, let's see, that's 6, and then we'll have him move 1 more. So that's his 7. And then, so Vaelon is off the board. I got 3 people in here, so I really need them to go. We need some goings on of goings firsts here. That's what needs to happen. That is actually everybody. Everybody has gone. With the exception of, I believe I can move the Quiet Forester up to 1 inch if I'm doing a ranged attack. I'm going to look that up now. All right, so the Quiet Forester here, Whisper actually, can move 2 inches. So we're going to have Whisper move 2 inches towards the exit. And that is this round. I feel like this next round is going to be kind of hectic. All right, so I need some ones. Oh, all right, 2 1s. That's not bad. That is not bad. That gets 2 of my people, gets them the ability to run as quickly as possible. So let's set it up. We have set up Rosalind and Vandra to go first. Rosalind is going to get the heck out of Dodge, and we're going to move her the full 7 that she can go. She's going to move and she is going to dash. So we'll just put this right here and donk. So she takes a move there. The preen can move 10. This part is blocked, so here's what we're going to do. We're actually going to move the preen as well. As soon as I find my measuring tool here, my measuring stick. So we're going to move 3 to here, and then an additional 5 to here, and then an additional 2 to here. And that is the preen. Now those are my only 2 that are going to go first, so unfortunately Bork has been sacrificed, probably. Let's see what happens. Here's what I'm going to do first. I'm going to move the enemies that need to patrol. Starting with these guys here, they've been sitting around 2. They're going to move towards 6, which is going to make them alert or aware. And they have that charismatic leader here with them as well. And then the skeleton is going to move towards Bork to engage. We'll get to that. Yep, all of these guys. Oh, Bork, I'm so sorry, buddy. Yeah, Bork's the closest. All right, luckily, The lieutenant can't reach. And let's see who's closer. I'm pretty sure Bork is still closer to these guys, so they're within 9. And actually, Rosalind is closer. Okay, so these guys are going to move here. All right, well, that's a little reprieve off of Bork. Poor Bork. Now, these guys in the corner here, let me adjust the camera. So these guys in the corner, they're going to patrol towards Objective 3, which is back here. So it does not move them close enough to be aware yet, but that is definitely not good. Okay, so we're going to get to this combat. I think Bork is about to unfortunately bite the dust, so we'll see how that happens. We're going to go with, again, black and white, white being Bork and black being Skeleton 1. So we're going to start with this guy. Oh, double 6s. Okay, let me check Bork's combat value. Okay, Bork is a lucky guy, and I'll tell you why. Because Bork is going to get pushed back 1. Actually, he would be here, so he would be pushed back 1 here, which takes him out with these two, this guy, but it leaves him here. So we're gonna do this again. Let's see how lucky Bork is. Maybe Bork is the lucky one of the group. Let's see. So this is gonna be Skeleton versus Bork. Another draw, a 2 and a 2. You can't make this up. You can't make this up at all. Okay, so Bork gets pushed back 1 inch, which is everybody's turn. Bork might actually make it out of here. All right. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. Since we're counting this as being open, the Quiet Forester is gonna move back 2 and take a shot at this skeleton. And I'm fairly certain, oh, I didn't put a wound token on it. I know this guy was wounded, but one of these two was wounded, and I don't remember which. So I'm pretty sure it was this guy in the back. So we're gonna try and see if the Quiet Forester can get a shot off. Unfortunately, no. Requires a 5+. So she did move her 2, and then Graven, who is Graven and the Quiet Forester back here. Graven is going to move his full move, which is going to take him off the board. All right, so the leader gets out. And then Rosalind is going to head off the board as well. And that leaves Bork. Bork is going to run. Bork is going to run for his ever-loving life here. All right, so at this point, honestly, none of these guys can run. So I think we can call it here. Everybody is actually going to get away, which is amazing. The preen is definitely close enough to be able to get away. And then, since, like I said, since none of these guys can run, the rest of them can get off the board as well. And because Bork got some lucky rolls there, he got pushed twice. He had to draw twice. So you know what? This man is as far as I'm concerned, is probably close enough to the MVP. Although I got to admit, the Quiet Forester did get 2 kills. So let's do the after game and see where we're at. Okay, so for the end game here, let me just go over what we have. So our after actions, we got 6 adventure points, which is cool. We got an advancement for Vaelon, who got a combat skill increase, taking her to 2. I should have had her fighting this whole time. Vandra ended up with a combat skill increase as well. He got a level. Rosalind got 3 loot rolls, a suit of full armor, 2 tonics, and a magical apparatus, which ended up being a tome. So Graven ended up getting a new spell, Darts, which is cool. We ended up camping because we're not near town. And we got the weather is worsening, which reduces recovery time, which is a moot point for now. We ended up, our camp event was saw a choice animal. I did choose to hunt, got to roll twice on the table. We got 2 rations and Animal pelts worth 3 gold marks, which takes us up to 10 gold marks. Our second action, we lived off the land, which leaves us with no upkeep and still 10 marks. And when I rolled up connections, I ended up coming out with a contract, and I ended up rolling up the chase off the group scenario. So it's a camp full of bandits that we'll be going up against next. And let's just go ahead and add in our graveyard. So this is the graveyard, the delve that we were just in. And I'm sure that on here somewhere I've got to have some sort of camp or something on here that we can use as a marker for the bandit camp. Let's use nomadic tents. That's what we'll do. So where are we going to put these guys? Where are we going to put them? Tell you what, we'll put the bandit camp over here where there's nothing going on. No, you know what? Bandits wouldn't be holed up there, would they? Bandits would actually probably be holed up somewhere up here. So we'll put the bandit camp here off of the main road near the bridge. That's what we'll do. So that is how we ended up. So that was first session. I enjoyed myself thoroughly. I'm sure that I made quite a few mistakes. So if you come across any, please let me know, and I will endeavor to fix that next round. Anyway, thanks for watching, and as I always say, please subscribe. And it helps. Every little bit helps. See you next time.